Hey guys, Beck here. Welcome back to Teacher Love Club. Today's deep dive, sort of mini workshop, is going to be all about perimenopause and your participants and clients in your classes or in your private classes that are going through this stage of life. It's only just becoming quite popular and sort of mainstream podcasts, YouTube videos that I've seen that we're starting to openly talk about this topic. This is something that I'm really passionate about, and I've started looking at a lot myself, that I'm now in my late 30s, I'm almost 40. So it's become something that I've become quite passionate about learning more for myself and also for people that come to my classes. But it's really only just starting to become something that people will talk about openly. Back in the day, it was not really anything anyone would openly discuss. From what I've seen from sort of specialist doctors who speak on YouTube and things like that, is that people would go to the doctor and they would say, oh, I'm feeling stressed, I'm feeling anxiety, I've got, obviously the hot flashes is the most common side effect. I'm gaining weight around my belly and I don't know why. And when they say the things about the stress and the anxiety and also unable to sleep or fall asleep or stay asleep, they often will put them on some sort of anti-anxiety medication. But now that it's becoming more mainstream to talk about it, and you've obviously got things like hormone replacement therapy, HRT, that's come back into being healthy as long as it's been taken early enough in the perimenopause journey, a lot more doctors are a lot more open to talking about it. So what I'm going to talk to you about is just a few topics on how you can help your clients in class. This is what specifically you can do to help them. The number one thing that you want to do in your classes is to ensure that they have proper alignment and they are moving very well. The reason that we want them to move well, and this goes for all things, this is shoulders, because shoulders tend to get injured the most, and the lower back. This is proper hip and knee alignment and things like squats and lunges, pelvis alignment, how they're using their core. And the reason that we want them to have proper alignment is A, we're obviously teaching Pilates and Barre, so we want our clients to have proper alignment, but also because the next thing that I'm going to talk to you about is adding more resistance. There's a lot of talk out there that Pilates is no good for building strength, and you can't build strength from a Pilates class, the weight isn't heavy enough. But you and I know that we know how to teach a Pilates class where we add more resistance with things such as props or slightly heavier springs, and we can give them a resistance training workout in a Pilates setting. So if you have someone going through perimenopause who's in your class and they are quite regular clients, they're strong, they're not injured, they know what they're doing, you can encourage them to add a little bit more resistance. Say you're doing blue spring lunges, you could say, hey, why don't you do this on a blue, yellow, or a red if you want more resistance? When they're doing double leg press, this is the perfect opportunity to say, why don't you do this with all springs on and see how that feels? Double leg press is the only time, and single leg press, where they do a heavy weighted movement. Give them the option of going heavier. They are not going to hurt themselves as long as they have step A, which is proper, correct alignment. So women going through the stage of life need heavy resistance. That can also mean if you're teaching something like a Pilates sculpt class, give them the option of using heavier dumbbells. We at our studio Bend in Byron Bay have 1s, 2s, 3s, 5s, and we even have 8-kilo weights that we use for our strength classes. If you're going to go a little bit heavier, and I'm talking like 3 kilo, just take out all of those very small, intricate pulses if everyone's using the heavier weight. If it's just a couple of people using the heavy weight, make sure you're cueing. If you're going to use the heavier weight, you're just going to go full range without the pulses. Everyone else using a 1 kilo, you've got 8 pulses. Encourage the people with heavy weight to skip the pulse. Just do more in the full range. This will prevent any injuries. You've obviously got loop bands and ankle weights and balls and blocks and long therabands. Encourage them to use those props. A lot of people will be like, I'm not going to use the ankle weight today. encourage them to use it. Build strength in their muscles. If they have more muscle, they are going to have a higher metabolism, which is going to help them with any unwanted weight gain that they find in that menopause time of their life. And also it is going to help flush toxins out of their body, and it is going to get their vascular system working, which is like the blood system, the heart system. So if the vascular system is working really well, pumping oxygen and blood and nutrients and hormones, then their vascular system works better. They can control their body temperature, and that'll mean it'll help with hot flushes. Another thing that we can add to our classes, I like to do this just at the end of the class sometimes with, say, a bar class or even a Pilates sculpt or a reformer fit or something like that, is adding a little bit of HIIT or a little bit of sit. So HIIT is high intensity interval training. Sit is sprint interval training. So that's 30 seconds on, they get a little minute of break, minute or two, and then they go 30 seconds on. Sprint doesn't have to be running. Sprint can be squat jumps, burpees. You're on the jump board and you're going knee to chest, knee to chest, knee to chest, really fast. Get them to go at their 80 to 90% effort, and then have a break. And when they have the break, if it's at the end of the class, they can have a little stretch. They can wipe down their bed a little bit. Okay, we're going for another 30 seconds of sit. Here we go. Da, 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 da. So that is actually what I'm going to start implementing into my classes, because studies have shown that sit also increases the sort of capacity for the vascular system. It's going to help boost their metabolism. It will help with the sort of body temperature controls. So you've got your alignment, making sure they have correct alignment. You've got adding resistance, and you've got adding the little bit of HIIT. One of the other things I want to talk to you guys about is compound movement. So we already know a lot about compound movement with our teaching, but adding the upper body and the lower body to the class is going to build the intensity, obviously, in that 45 minutes. And that means we're going to be adding more muscle groups. More muscle groups are working. We're building more strength. So we're going to give them a much more quality class, quality of exercise, by adding in those upper body and lower body, or lower body and core, or upper body and core. We're adding in the quality, we're adding in the intensity, which is going to help them get their body moving and help with the body composition and help with the muscle building. With both types of exercise, with resistance training and with the HIIT or the sit training, it's also going to help with their bones. So bone density is so important as we age for both sexes, male and female, because it takes away the risk of getting osteoporosis. So everyone's heard of osteoporosis. It is the brittle bone disease. If we are doing the resistance training combined with the HIIT or the cardio training, we are going to lower the risk of osteoporosis. They're going to have denser bones, which is going to help with the muscle as well. One of the other things that I want to talk to you guys about is just the air in the room. So having that nice cool air in the room. I always make sure I'm there 15 minutes before. The first thing I do is put the aircon on, shut the doors, I shut the windows, I blast the aircon. They come in, oh, it's freezing in here, but I know that that's going to keep their body temperature lower. So when we're adding the higher intensity at some points during the class, or the heavier spring tension, they are going to feel those effects from that, and not just from the heat in the room. Those are just a few tips that I wanted to run past you guys. So we want to help them with building muscle. We want to help them with hot flushes by adding resistance and adding the cardio. And we want to help them with their bone density so that they become lower risk of osteoporosis, and obviously keep that room nice and cool for them. All right, guys. Well, I hope that helps. That's just a little snippet. Have a beautiful rest of your day. If you have any comments, questions, anything, pop it below or in the community, and we'll see you soon.